Cheers.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of If It Wasn't For My Knees podcast. Tonight, I'm joined by Uche, Aki, CT, GJ, and Mikey D. Now, the Premier League season may have ended, but there's still lots of football for us to talk about. So we're going to start with the European games, the 2 European trophies that were contested this week. So we're going to start with the Europa League, where Manchester United took on Villarreal. Unfortunately, or not, depending on who you support. Villarreal managed to beat Manchester United on penalties. I'm going to come to Mikey D first. You watched the game. For me, it seemed like Villarreal didn't really pose a threat. They were mostly behind the ball. They didn't have anything on the counter-attacks. They had no pace. And then Manchester United didn't really do anything with all the possession they had. They had 60% of the possession, 2 shots on goal in 120 minutes. So, Mikey, what do you think?
It was a shocking performance. As everybody knows, I had United down to win 3 or 4. And Villarreal posed no threat. They could have even played 3 at the back, and literally a 3 at the back rather than kind of like a wing-back system. And there still wouldn't have been a threat against them. United, the problem is they played all of their best players. Ole didn't know what to do to change anything to improve. He was scared to take off certain players as well. Fernandes went missing. Literally a no-show in a European final. There's not much more that can be said. They got to penalties, which is where Villarreal wanted to be after about 60 minutes. And some of the penalties were top-notch, to be fair. I don't think De Gea should be blamed for the missing a penalty. He should be blamed for diving out of the way of penalties. The 2 keepers were absolutely shocking. The Villarreal keeper, he's a shocking keeper anyway. So he was palming balls into the net. But busy life. Ole has been like that all season. He's a bot like, yeah, I think that's a fair comment, to be honest. It was shocking for a final. 4 semis and a final without a win. I'm assuming BizLife is a United supporter. I'm appreciating the 4 semi-finals and the final loss. Like, it's good to misery loves company, you know. United just flopped the show. Villarreal, Emery's managed to pick up another bloody trophy. I want to swear at him, but I won't. I think there was one person that was quite solid on Villarreal, Spaniard in the group. Probably best to go to him.
Who are you talking about?
Aki.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did predict that.
I call both of them, actually, come to think of it. I did say the City-Chelsea game. No, I said Chelsea would win that. I said it'd be a tight game.
Hey, I've rewatched it, mate. You said 2.5 goals.
You guys swayed me.
We'll come to that.
You guys swayed me. But I did say I think you guys showed a lack of respect for Villarreal because they're a much better team than you guys give them credit for. And
we showed too much faith in Ole. That's what it was.
At the end of the day, they beaten 2 English teams. Like,
it wasn't a lack of respect
Arsenal,
per se.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
You guys just basically against Arsenal. You guys were like, we should beat them. And then against Man U, again, it was like, oh, Man U going to wipe the floor with them, blah, blah, blah. It was a complete lack of respect shown towards Villarreal, to be fair.
Do you know what this stinks of?
It was.
Porto, Greece, all of these where these underdogs managed to grind the win out. It's not showing a lack of respect. It's showing the respect that is due to them. That is the respect that should have been given to them, and they should have been packed up but they weren't. Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I think ultimately though, I think your perception of Arsenal and Man U is a lot greater than the reality, and that's the problem.
Did you watch the game?
I did, and I would say Villarreal, like, they might not be pleasing to the eye, but neither are Man U, neither are Arsenal. At the end of the day, they're all
Were Villarreal good?
To be quite frank with you, I didn't watch the whole game.
I know you didn't. Because you're talking rubbish right now. You didn't watch the game. Villarreal were terrible. United that's the basis of it. I'll give you a props. Listen, I'll give you a props. You called the Villarreal win. That's it. The end. They shouldn't have been winning it. United should have won, but they didn't.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I called this last week. I said, not the result, but if Ole fails to beat Villarreal, he should have been sacked. But there should be like some mutual agreement for that he walks, because he's just not good enough, man. And I know some Man United fans would agree with me, but he's not the one.
Just to answer Houdini's comment, I thought Ole was terrible, but just saw the Arsenal stats versus Villarreal, and they also had 3 shots on target over 2 legs. The first leg, we were terrible. One of the legs we played no striker. It's another manager. Do you know what?
Yes, it's shambles.
Let's just call a spade a spade. There's 2 apprentice managers in charge, and it showed. It is what it is.
3. You got Ryan Mason, innit?
He got knocked out in the earlier round. He doesn't
Ryan Mason,
don't pick on us.
I'm just saying.
Villarreal
correcting the stats.
I think the thing is, though,
who'd you get beat by them?
I think back in the day when Man U were
in your head rent free, bro.
But back in the day when Man U were a bit decent and Arsenal, were challenging, then back in those days they would be expected to beat Villarreal. But these days, it's kind of Villarreal is Man U and Arsenal above Arsenal's level for sure, and it's about the same level. That's the way it is, mate. That's the way it is.
All right, let
me just one last point. Man United are second in the Premier League. Villarreal 8th in the league. No, stop saying that they're the equivalent. They're not. One team was managed to try and get a result. One team just managed.
Just to back Mikey up on that, Villarreal had 1 shot on target. They scored from it in the whole of the match. So,
Man United,
they won the game.
There's more than one way to skin a cat.
And they scored from one of those.
But, yeah. They had 2. But what Mikey's saying is that on paper, Villarreal should have got smashed, and they were.
Well, football isn't played on paper. That doesn't mean anything.
That's fine. Did you watch the game anyway?
Yeah, of course I did. I watched the whole game.
So you appreciate that United should have beaten them?
What does that mean? On paper? Yeah, okay.
No, I didn't say on paper. Just don't put words in my mouth.
Okay.
I said you watched the game, so you appreciate that United should have beaten them because Villarreal showed no threat and United had possession and they should have created shots.
No, I disagree. Look,
I must have missed some highlights.
One minute, sorry. Who's coming in? Uche? Okay, all right.
I must have missed. There's some special highlight on BT Sport. They're discriminating against Manchester United, and I must have missed that bit where they were popping shots and Villarreal goalkeeper was making saves and came out with man of the match. I checked the man of the match. It wasn't the Villarreal goalkeeper because of his shots he was making. Certain men that who like to take pens for a living, they can't bury when it matters in 90 minutes. Villarreal is there. Sibblers right in front of you to deal with, and we're now discussing about if you're the better team. Look, I didn't watch the game for rightly so. I thought I gave it to Ole. I dashed it to Ole. I said, Ole.
Hang on a minute. Whoa. 1 minute. I watched the game. You didn't. So let me step in. Right, and you can talk.
No worries.
Right? Mr. Ping.
Go through.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Mr. Ping there. Yeah.
Mr. Ping.
Mr. Shook of Man United winning a European trophy. Right. I watched the whole game.
I was sleeping.
Right now, Uche, to be fair to you, you didn't watch the game, but your assessment is actually spot on because I'm watching the game, and the only period where Man United were brilliant was from 45 minutes to about 60 minutes. Once they equalised, that 10-15 minute spell, United were dominant. After that, game was dead. There was nothing happening, and in the last in extra time, the actual better side was Villarreal. They're very comfortable.
Let me just better side. Let's not do that.
No. I said
to,
specifically. No. I'll do that. I will do that. And
let
I'm
me
saying that.
let me ask you a question.
No. Let me finish, and then you.
No.
Let me finish. Then you come in with
I haven't asked my question.
I said, let me finish, then come in with the question. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. I'm just finishing my point. I'm just specifying that Man United, right, were dead, and in the last 30 minutes of that tie, as in extra time, the better side, if there was a better side, because it was a dead match, but if there was a better side, it was Villarreal.
So, out of the two teams, you watched the game. Who should have won?
Draw.
Wow, you're crazy.
Wait, what do you mean it's crazy?
You didn't watch the game, Uche. You're null and void. You can diss United.
Fine. But honestly,
I appreciate
you
that.
have to start pointing
I
to
watched
the
the
bits
game.
I've missed. Okay, tell me the bits I've missed, because I watched long extended highlights of the game.
I'll give the analysis.
Fill us in. Mikey, fill us in.
Villarreal, what threat did they pose?
What threat did United pose?
Wait, you said they played brilliantly for 15 minutes. They must have posed a threat then. You didn't say Villarreal played brilliantly throughout any period of the game.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
You didn't.
This is a great comment by BizLife. Who cares who should win? Who won? You know, at the end of the day, Villarreal won. Yeah, exactly.
We can skip on it. Let's go to the Champions League final then.
Come 5 years. In 5 years' time, at the end of the day, it's going to say Villarreal.
Before we do that, CT, can you give Emery props for winning his fourth?
Yes.
However many trophies
Let's hear it.
I froze. Sorry.
No, you didn't.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. I didn't hear what you said. Now you know what. Shout out to Emery
props for winning the trophy again.
Finally.
Big boy Emery. The cup, the Europa competition's his, isn't it? So yeah, good. Props to him. Well done. That's it, man. That's it. Because the foolishness he was doing with our squad, I don't rate him for that. But good luck to him. Good luck.
What does that say to you about your bunch of waste man that he's in charge of in the Arsenal Football Club? What does that tell you?
Exactly. Look what Femsa said. The Emery Cup, unless he's with Arsenal, he couldn't do it with us. So
what does that tell you?
Can I just say?
What does that say about you guys?
Yeah, no. But to be fair,
he couldn't handle the squad. We're too big for him.
Arsenal lost to Chelsea. There's no disrespect in that, and that was Hazard on prime form. So we
were whacked. We were terrible in that game. We were terrible. From the first minute of kickoff, we
got two Arsenal fans saying that it was awful. It's probably the worst final that Arsenal
say it was all right. Uche,
you know what I mean?
Before we move on to the Champions League final, so there were rumours after the loss. There were rumours that Ole was going to get an extended contract. I think I saw 3 years or something like that. What's going on?
You know what? I keep thinking that like a Liverpool fan has infiltrated the board, yeah, and that's the only explanation for this madness. Listen, I told you before on WhatsApp. It's sad. I know it sounds strange from a Liverpool fan, but it's sad to see this pathetic guy trying to be in charge of such a massive club when it's clear to everyone watching the game that this guy hasn't got a clue. He doesn't got a clue. The reason why the Villarreal results are not unacceptable is because this was your chance to win one of those similar trophy against a team that you should just go there, give you 1-0, 2-0, no stories, nothing. There's nothing to talk about. You win the cup, you shake hands, the end. Yeah, there's nothing to talk about. Whether it's Fernandes that scores the winner, Pogba, it doesn't matter. No one was interested. How many shots, all that. But now it's looking like, to me, if you're gonna give this man a contract, and I'm seeing Klopp and Pep Guardiola, and I'm seeing Tuchel, you're like, okay, great, give him a contract, 3 year, 5 year, let's
10 years actually.
Let's get it done.
10 years. First 10-year contract.
Let's put that breaking news on Sky Sports News and let's start having a. But this is champion's time, bro. This is music to my ears.
Can I just say
that? I can't help you.
Can I just say that Mikey's right? Your prediction was right, because it should have been 3 or 4-0 Pap. It was a gimme trophy for Ole. And do you know how much of a gimme trophy it was? Alex Ferguson turned up, right? And he was there at the presentation.
Celebrations. Yeah.
You know that, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
He was there to, you know what? This is a gimme, absolute gimme for my old player Ole. Well done, handshake to get United back on the map. And he was wiping all that egg over that bacon.
Yeah, that's right. So that's why I don't want to hear about who played well, who didn't play well. No one's interested. This is a final. If you don't turn up, step aside, let someone else go in. And I was looking at what happened. The subs, making his 5 sub at extra time, and then all of this guy's funny, man.
It was mad.
This guy's a crazy man.
So if you're gonna give that guy a contract extension against what's coming next season, and it's gonna keep coming in terms of the caliber of managers it's gonna be up against, fair play. This is good for a laugh.
Busy life. He's not feeling Ole at all.
He's not. I told you.
You guys speak as if you've never seen Ole play.
No, busy life. Yeah, man. I'm with you because this Manchester United, the biggest club in Britain, right? One of the biggest in the world. They haven't won a trophy for 3 years. That's shocking. Yeah. That's shocking. And like I think Busy Life said it earlier. Like he's 4 semi-finals and a final. I mean, that's Spursy. That's what we do.
It's crazy. Yeah. I'm shocked that he's been actually allowed to stay this long.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
I'm telling you.
The reason why I raise it as well is because you look at Europe, you look at people that do achieve, people that actually, you look at what Zidane just said on his statement. It's ridiculous to him to be saying that. He's saying, look, I know what you guys are about. I didn't drop the trophy, even though he's got millions of excuses why. He's like, I know what this club is about. I know what this club stands for. I'm out of here. And you're giving this joker a 3-year contract extension. I mean, you can't make it up. It's brilliant. Like I said, I think the Liverpool fan has infiltrated the board.
Houdini.
There's been managers on the sidelines that they could have gone and got as well.
100%.
Like, but let them persist.
Long may it continue.
Hey, Mikey, you're spot on there. Do you know why? That's a great point, bro. Because when the final when De Gea missed the penalty, I was like, United lost. And then suddenly I was thinking, hang on a minute. Our top choice for our next manager, United could be pinching him because they're going to sack Ole one time.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm thinking, all the managers we're linked with, probably delusional, but Conte, Pochettino, blah, blah,
Mason.
blah. Right. Yeah, Mason. Yeah. But I'm thinking all these guys we're linked with, and United could be just gazump us. But now they've given Ole an extension. Absolute madness.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Couldn't make it
I hope our clown owners don't get any ideas either. Given this clown. I'm not on that. I'm on another process. I'm on another process if that happens. Nah, it's not happening.
CT is coming. Brace yourself.
5 games next season. That's what he's allowed to prove himself.
He's dropped a trophy. Calm down.
Behave yourself. Behave yourself. Aubameyang dropped that trophy, mate. That's all that happened. Let's move on.
Okay, so let's talk about the other team for Manchester who also managed to flop in a final. So Champions League final on Saturday night. Chelsea against Manchester City. I watched the game, even though I vowed that I wouldn't watch it. I had it on in the background. I was watching Peaky Blinders actually, which is a good series if nobody's seen it. And
it's for another pod.
The match seemed very similar to the Villarreal against Manchester United match in terms of one team had set up in a certain way to stop the other team playing. The team that had the majority of possession, which was Manchester City, just kind of ran out of ideas. I wasn't watching the match like continuously from 0 to 90 minutes, but from what I could see, whenever I had my eyes on the screen, it seemed like City had the ball. They tried to penetrate. They couldn't penetrate centrally. They kept going wide. They kept losing the ball, and then Chelsea counter-attacked. And then it just kind of went on like that until the end of the match. What people were afraid of in terms of Man City not winning this match, and we did do some predictions in the last pod, what people were saying was that Pep might overthink it again, and it seems like he's done it again. GJ, your thoughts?
Right. First of all, some great comments in the thread, guys. Bigger78, Houdini, you guys, Biz Alive, keep it up. Great comments. And this word bottle keeps coming up. And as a Spurs fan, I affiliate a lot. That's got quite an affinity with that word, right?
100%.
Right, yeah. Pep, you're spot on. Pep, Abu Konade as well. Pep flopped. Pep bottled it. He absolutely bottled it. He's never, in his 5 years as Man City manager, I think it's 5 years, just off the top of my head, he has never picked this lineup. Never, right? No Anchorman, no Rodri, no Fernandinho. Who's protecting the defence? And Ruben Diaz and John Stones look whack. Right now, you can make an argument for John Stones being whack and saying he's being protected. Ruben Diaz is not whack. Those guys got exposed. They had their pants pulled down, and Chelsea on the counter-attack. Oh my word! Timo Werner should have had a hat trick. He could have had a hat trick in the first half.
Should have a hat trick every game.
Don't mention that guy, man.
All right, I won't mention him. We'll move on.
He don't deserve a shout.
I have to give a shout out to my brother, N'Golo Kante. I love this guy. I love this guy. Seriously, man. This guy. I've told you, I've said on TalkSport, I've said on previous forums, the best defensive midfielder, or even box-to-box midfielder, I should say, in my generation I can remember. Better than your Paddy Vieiras, better than your Roy Keanes, World Cup winner, multiple League Cup winner, Champions League winner. And you know what? If that idiot Deschamps picked him in the Euro 2016 or 2018 final, he would have had a European Championship winners medal as well. But that guy is a boss.
Yeah.
There's a comment targeted me in the forum.
I see it.
No, leave this to me.
What happened
Leave this to me.
KDB? And don't
I will
mention
come
the
to
injury.
this. I've got this.
So,
I've got this.
I think
Wait, we'll go to Mikey first and then you, DJ.
I've
We'll have Mikey
prepared some
first.
statistics, but I'll give a little say-so, seeing as I watched the game. 57 minutes of nothing. 57 minutes of nothing from any City player. If you were to sub a City player, you could have subbed any one of them, and none of them could have. Well, Ederson could have stayed on the pitch because he put a nice through ball for Sterling. That was the best creative moment of City's game. Pep over Foyt, it was ridiculous. I get they're not playing with a striker, and then not playing with holding midfielders, and then playing Zinchenko instead of Cancelo. The decisions were crazy. We got some interesting comments in the thread about KDB's overrated. There's some hater
on KDB.
I think the red half of Manchester is a bit crazy right now. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, there's a lot of KDB hate.
Oh wow!
Another bottler only shows up against Sibblers. Like, all these comments are interesting. You know what's interesting is because KDB will be back, isn't it? Everybody knows I rate him. So if you don't rate him, then you don't rate footballers. If you like anti-football, then cool. Bless. But he went off on 57 minutes. Fractured nose, fractured eye socket. Like,
fractured ego.
90 minutes.
Fractured ego.
But as you said, Mikey, he didn't do anything before then. So
None of the City players did.
DJ, do you wanna step in now?
Yeah, as you guys, let me start first and foremost. As you guys know, I didn't watch the game. I was having dinner with catching up with some friends. So obviously for this pod, I made sure to watch a long list of highlights. Very, very COVID secure. Thank you.
As always.
Listen, let's not deviate. This is my thing. Yeah, I watch my long highlights. Yeah, Mr. Ping, all of that. Yeah, respect. I watch the long highlights, and my first job was to find Kevin De Bruyne, because the reason I wanted to find Kevin De Bruyne is because I'm trying to understand, is this the biggest match of his career? Yes or no? And I think everybody will say this is definitely the biggest game of your career, without a shadow of a doubt. Where are you, my friend? What are you doing? Are you setting players up? Are you murking? Are you destroying? Nope, none of that. Okay, you pick this team. I don't know what Pep is doing, but Pep has usually overthought it, yeah? But I'm still looking for a performance. Who's going to turn up? I'll watch this whole thing, then I'll watch it back. The only shot of something that resembles a shot that I remember from Manchester City in that final is that Sterling, which came from a long ball. That's basically Stoke City. Long ball across Sterling. With that's it. That literally is the summary. That ball that was going over the bar with his right foot.
It virtually took the ball.
Was that the long ball where he Sterling ran off Screwface Worldy?
Yeah.
Wait, did he?
We're gonna come to that, DJ.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's get to that later. Let's get to that.
We'll
I'm watching the game and I'm thinking like, okay, I checked a lot of things. So first and foremost, 13 shots a game is what Manchester City averages in the Champions League. I'm pretty sure total Chelsea had more shots on target, and Man City only averaged, I think it was 3 total shots. So you're telling me that a team that normally averages 13 goals on average 13 shots could not even get to 5 in the whole 90 minutes of football. in the biggest game of their careers, right? And then, like you said, Pep definitely overthought it. But I still come back to these worldies. They had the players. You talked about Zinchenko and Cancelo. When you look back on all the games they've played, he's kind of swapped it. So that's not too much of a surprise. Although I agree with you, if I was going for preference, I'll still go Cancelo. But that's not too much of a surprise. He then did that thing with the whole not having a holding midfielder, but then actually putting Gundogan, who's one of your top scorers, back to be the holder, which is just bizarre. So everything he tried wasn't working. But the whole point of playing that midfield is obviously to create chances, is to have possession, is to have creativity. And I didn't see any creativity. So for me, Kevin De Bruyne and Guardiola, for me, they go hand in hand. It's one of those situations. Guardiola without Messi is not able to answer the question we're called upon, unfortunately for him. And Kevin De Bruyne, as great as he is, and he's a fantastic player, one of the best in the Premier League that's ever seen. But my question was, before the game when we predicted it, I said I expected him to flop it because the pressure will get to these guys. And that's exactly what happened, because I did not see anything resembling Manchester City. So it was horrible performance. I had to go backwards. I started to think, who was this overwhelming favourite that has lost the Champions League in this manner? I couldn't find one. Please, if you know one, let me know. That has go through the whole match. No shots, hardly any shots on target. No goals in 90 minutes, despite being one of the most highly attacking teams. So for me, it was a terrible performance by Manchester City. And Pep Guardiola should be ashamed of himself. And Kevin De Bruyne was flopped it. Just like the rest of them flopped it. It was a complete, utter shambles.
You know what? There's a lot of talk and a lot of KDB hate. Okay,
No, but it's not about being worldly simple.
No, listen. This is me. I'm responding.
It's not about that.
It's a brief response, not to you, to the thread, to the comments coming through in regards to KDB. So in regards to the match, I think if you single out KDB, it's just silly because there was no City player that played well. The person that should be singled out is Pep. He messed up the thing. He played KDB in a false nine. Like, he's basically singled out KDB to get this heat because none of them players stepped up. None of them played well. And that's because he tinkered with the structure.
Yeah.
He tried it and it failed.
I completely agree with you. Like, so I'm saying that he contributed. There's no question that, like what you said, that Pep contributed. But I'm saying this is the biggest game of your career. Sometimes you have to do a madness, even if it means almost telling the guy on the bench here, this is my show. I run it. I did not see anything. I mean, like you said, it's a bit unfair on him because obviously I wanted to see him 90 minutes. It's very unfortunate he got injured. But I wanted to see, look, take the game by the scruff of the neck. You are clearly, without any shadow of a doubt, the best player, right, on that pitch. Correct? Would we say that?
Yep.
Is that fair enough to say?
No,
so you need to show it.
No, yeah, sure. He's clearly the best player.
No, come on. I'm talking. Okay, go on. Best offensive player. Best offensive player.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Offensive player on the pitch.
DJ, you're actually thinking.
What are you thinking about?
He's thinking how many beers he's got in the fridge.
Come on, man. So
I just counted. I'm well stocked up.
Did I get that third one? Have I drunk it already?
Exactly, you know.
He's got to pay.
For me, this is the reason why
Real. I counted the bottles in my fridge, and I've got more bottles of Man City and Pep.
No, so that for me, that's what I'm saying. When you're one of the best players in the world, I expect you to show up. So don't give me stuff like it's worldy simples, because at the end of the day, we're not arguing about that. We're talking about this is the biggest game of your career. There is no doubt about it. You did not show up. Your manager definitely messed you up. Your manager definitely messed you up. But I expect you to step up to the plate. That's literally why you get the honor. That's it.
He had 57 minutes. I think he's got a disclaimer here.
No, absolutely. That happened.
57 minutes. Of course he does.
And he got taken out. Come on, man.
In the time he was on the pitch, he didn't do enough. That's fair.
You don't do things every minute you're on the pitch. That's a fact.
If you look at averages,
you need more than 57 minutes to do stuff.
In the 57 minutes he was on the pitch, do you think, Mikey, that he did enough?
I don't think any of them did.
No. That wasn't a question. That wasn't a question.
It's what I'm answering. I don't think any of them. You understand?
He didn't.
No City player did enough.
Mikey D.
The best
question is Kevin De Bruyne. Not the whole team. Not the entity. We're talking about the player.
No City player did enough.
This guy.
Do you understand that?
This guy.
He's agreed. GJ's agreed with you.
You understand that?
Yeah, take it as it is, man.
He's played 2/3 of the match and did nothing. Now,
Not
listen,
quite. How's your maths?
He's played 2/3 of the match. 57 minutes is nearly an hour, isn't it?
Go on.
Right. Okay. There you go. That's what you want about.
But
can I just say,
he's trying his best
I didn't have you down as a hater, GJ.
This is like some crazy defense. It's crazy. Look, Mikey, it's easy. Take the L. Take the L,
man. Take the L.
Seriously.
I don't support it.
You're not his agent, are you? Bro, you're not his agent. Take the L.
What's the L?
You know what?
What's the L for?
GJ's a Chelsea fan.
There's some delusion driving through. Because
GJ
came out as a Chelsea supporter in the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Second team.
Chelsea fans.
Like suddenly it's everything Chelsea, blah, blah, blah. Did you?
No,
I bet you were celebrating. Were you out on the town?
Of course he was.
I bet you were out on the town.
Bruv, seriously, wash your mouth out. Tottenham, Chelsea, you're having a laugh, man. You're having a laugh.
I bet you got Chelsea top under that Tottenham top.
Yeah, I mean. Nah, don't do it.
Let's not do that.
It's not that kind of pod, man.
I might get Kante. 7.
Yeah, you see what I mean, guys? You see about this guy?
You can't.
But anyway, you know what? Instead of dissing KDB, I think we should spend a moment to big up Kante. Havertz played well as well. Big up the Chelsea team because although they were set out to stifle, they had a game plan. They deployed it. Kante was sick. Havertz gave glimpses of what's going to come next season.
Yep.
And I think Chelsea are kind of just serving notice because when they go out and buy a striker instead of that dead weight up front, they're actually going to be a problem. Like they're talking about Haaland or Lukaku. Lukaku's not easiest on the eye, but he's a banger. He scores goals. And if they dare to get Haaland, it's over.
I want to address this comment. So KDB has never met a big team now. It's got nothing to do with it. I repeat, let's talk about the Champions League final. It's the biggest game of your career. You didn't deliver. Take the L. It is what it is. Stop going up about, don't show me some Manchester City against another game. You did not show up.
Yeah, what does that mean, though? What does it mean for KDB?
You said it yourself, when we're previewing. You said it. You actually laid it on the plate.
What does it mean? He didn't show up. Okay, let's say he didn't show up. So we're all in agreement. What does it mean?
I'll tell you what it means. That's what I'm getting to. I'll tell you what it means. You were saying on the preview that this was his chance to basically do the Ballon d'Or thing, right? Deliver, win the Champions League, be in the reckoning to be put for a Ballon d'Or, yeah? You're flopping it, bro. You're not getting no votes for that performance. You're not getting in there.
He's right. He's right,
guys. This is what it's about.
So that's all it was about. Getting the Ballon d'Or. I'm not understanding what the narrative is.
You're stuttering, bro. You're stuttering.
I'm not understanding. That's why.
The narrative right now is that you're stammering and stumbling all over the place.
KDB didn't turn up. KDB didn't turn up. What does that mean?
He's answered.
What does it mean?
That's it. He's
it means
Uche, leave it. Uche, leave it.
No. GJ, be quiet and drink. What does KDB not showing up mean? That's what I want to understand. Because
when the biggest game of his career was when he was called upon. When you get called upon the biggest game of your career and you're a top player, that is where you're judged. It is literally the pinnacle of his career in club football. The next level now is in 2 weeks when he's going to be representing his nation. I hope he's fit for that. And he'll flop that too, and there'll be excuses, and you take another L there, and there'll be excuses about his team not being good enough. And that's just the way it is. And in the Ballon d'Or, he's not going to make the podium.
Let me just ask something. Sorry, let me ask something.
But it's not on that level.
There's a narrative being pushed here about showing up in the biggest game. Did Mr. Messi show up in the World Cup? What does it do to?
I think you'll find out in the World Cup that he won one of the best players in the tournament. I think.
Did he win? Did he win for his team?
What do you mean? I just told you. I think you'll find that Messi actually was awarded the best player at the tournament.
Was he in the final?
Yeah, he was in the final. He got the goal.
Did he win the World Cup?
Of course he did.
Got to the final. You're not listening to. Do I need to repeat myself here?
No, I just told you. Question you're not answering.
I told you, and I'm answering you. I'm answering it to you. You're not listening. And I said he won the best player of the tournament, right? Despite not winning the World Cup, as voted by people, and he gets appreciated as one of the best players because it is that level. That's what you are. This dude, was he favorite to win anyway?
It's a tournament. Did he show up in the final?
Was he favorite like this guy?
He's showing up in the PL finals, hasn't he?
The World Cup final is the biggest game of his career. Did he show up in that final? I picked it very specifically for this point.
No. Let me ask you a question. Are you going to compare?
No, a minute. Uche, let me step in it. So
yeah, go on.
You're comparing a Champions League final to a World Cup final. So let's compare Champions League.
Comparing the player's biggest game to their biggest game. That's what I'm comparing. This is KDB's biggest game so far.
Yeah.
And you guys are burying him. It was Messi's biggest game. That World Cup final.
He didn't do anything.
No, let me finish.
Messi's biggest game.
So in 2014, are you going to tell me that Messi wasn't the best player for Argentina in that final?
Answer my questions. Don't make that narrative. Messi is one of the best players ever, but he didn't show up in that final.
The best player ever.
He did not show up. Yeah, not to me. R9 is, but he's in the top two.
In the final. Because
did R9 show up in 1998?
Denman CT, Messi's a bottler.
The comments are going mad.
The comments are popping up. Guys, I'm just coming back because GJ and Uche pushed the narrative about KDB not showing up in the biggest game.
Did R9 show up in 1998?
Wasn't that the tournament where he got sick or something like that?
Yeah, that's correct.
Well,
what are you talking about?
Allegedly.
DJ, relax yourself.
Yeah.
I'm giving you an example as biggest games.
Yes.
It makes sense.
I'm saying to you, I'm saying to you that he won the best player of the tournament. He set up
that's a
striker twice. He set up his striker in that final twice, who should have buried. I didn't bury. So you can't say he didn't. I'm saying to you that Kevin De Bruyne's game in 57 minutes, he didn't do anything.
Behave. You can't judge him on 57 minutes. The guy came off injured.
Let's get real.
He came off injured. He came off injured.
But he still didn't do anything.
It's CT. He come off injured in the first minute. He had a fractured ego. He did nothing in the whole game.
He got taken out. Rudiger took him out. He got his assignment. He got taken out. Are we trying to argue that KDB isn't a player?
Rel, right? You're the host.
Is that what we're trying to say?
Don't try it.
Rel, you're
what are we trying to say?
Wait, one at a time. Go on, go.
Yeah. So, Rel, you're the host, right? So, do you remember we talked about in the predictions, right? Yeah. I said I did not want Chelsea to win, but I said I predicted that Chelsea would sneak it. I had a funny feeling because they've got the bigger personalities. And I not mention Kante? Did I not mention Tony Rudiger?
Absolutely.
Right? These guys are just winners. When I look at Man City, someone said it in the thread earlier. You know, like Bottlers is harsh, but I just think that Man City.
You guys have got some mad narratives.
No.
Rudiger's a winner. How much has he won before that game?
It's just about the personalities. I'm looking at there and I'm thinking, I'm backing these big person. I'm backing these winners. I'm backing the people.
I get the narrative backing Silva and Kante, because they've done the thing. Saying Rudiger is a winner.
So what? You'd
because
back?
He smashes into a player. I haven't seen Rudiger do anything.
No.
Far.
Did you see the way he buoyed up Suarez in the quarterfinal?
What has he won? You said he's a winner.
Right. He's a winner.
How can you be a winner and not win anything?
Man,
he's just won the Champions League, and he's just won the Champions League, and I predicted that.
You did.
I agree with
your second team, GJ.
Yeah, whatever. But Kevin De Bruyne, the winner, has collected a fractured.
So Obi-Wan says one game doesn't define someone's status.
I don't get it.
And that's the narrative that's being pushed.
Where was KDB in the World Cup?
Accordingly, there was 57 minutes of you to show. He didn't show anything. Literally nothing. Right? Take the L. It is what it is.
One game doesn't define.
No one has said. No one has certainly haven't said this, and I'm sure James hasn't said this. Nobody's saying that we don't think Kevin De Bruyne has just all of a sudden lost his status as one of the greatest players in the game. I am saying this is the level where you need to perform. You took an L. There's no excuse for it. You flopped it. Now he might well recover and do well in the next game or whatever, and then we discuss that. We have to look at what is in front of you.
And I'm saying Messi flopped that final as well.
How many
big games? Messi in because you're trying to make this thing because you're trying to defend this Kevin De Bruyne thing. I don't get it.
I've given a very good defense.
No, that's a silly defense.
De Bruyne is not a young. Another thing.
What I don't understand. Mikey, what I don't understand is that nobody here is is not rating KDB. I don't think.
What?
I don't think anyone is
That's
not
not
rating
coming
him.
across.
But
Who's not rating him, please?
he is their best player. He's probably the best player on the pitch, and he did nothing. Now you can say it's Pep Guardiola's fault. You can say that, but if I'm supporting Man City and I know KDB is my best player, I want to see him do something in spite of what the managers put on the pitch, and he didn't. It's unfortunate he went off the pitch. It's unfortunate he went off the pitch, but in the time he was on the pitch, he did absolutely nothing to help his team win that match.
Again, nobody's disputing that.
Two-thirds of the game. So bringing in Messi and this, that, and the other, where I agree with Uche is that he's had the opportunity in this final. I've heard. I know because Uche said biggest game and Messi's biggest game is World Cup final. Blah blah blah. But where I agree with Uche is that we're in a final. You're the best player in the team. You need to make something happen, and he didn't do it. So you can see where there's a narrative that KDB. I don't actually agree with it personally. I don't think he does enough for Belgium, frankly, personally. And I can see where I can see where the narrative comes from about flocking in big games. I can see it, and this is evidence towards that. I don't necessarily agree with it though.
I don't agree with the big game per se. I'm just saying, listen, if he matched it up on Saturday and they won it and he won best player, you have to give him props because this is his level. This is where he takes the game to the next level. What I'm saying is, I can't then when he doesn't do that, I can't then come on here and then still trying to back it. Like, look, take the L. You didn't perform. You should have performed. You flopped it. It's like, to me, just say it as it is. It's not a problem. It doesn't change my point of view in terms of what I think of Kevin De Bruyne. I'm still waiting for that moment. That moment is still coming.
Yeah. Uche, I'm with you.
And he's getting older. He's not a young player. I think he's 29 or something.
Guys,
we're not talking about some young player.
Busy life. What does whatless mean?
Do you not know that?
No.
Oh my goodness.
School him.
No, I'm not even school him. And our viewers are going to be shocked with you as well.
Sorry, man. I'm gonna have to go on Urban Dictionary for that one, yeah. All right.
Probably go in a dictionary.
Anyway, so talking about.
Thank you. 1 second.
There's a comment down here from Femster82.
Okay, here we go. Arsenal fans coming in. Go on.
Neymar and Mbappe did nothing in last year's final. It happens at times. This is what I'm trying to say. Why is? That's what I'm trying to say. It happens. Sometimes big players go missing in finals. Yeah, it happens, but you can't define this guy as he's not worldy because he didn't perform in his biggest stage in his career. It might not be the only biggest stage in his career. He'll get another chance.
This is tabloid stuff. No one has said what you just said. No one said that.
Just said it.
We heard you.
No one just said it. No one said it. You said it. You said it, mate.
I said he's not going to be in the Ballon d'Or. That's simple. He's not going to be in the top 3. Are you going to argue with me about that? Unless he performs in Belgium, you're gonna tell me.
KDB's a player, and he'll walk into any one of our teams.
There's a big difference. There's a big difference.
He's a worldie.
Neymar and Mbappe have delivered in big finals. When has KDB delivered in a big final?
Yeah, but Fem's just said they didn't deliver in last year's final. So it happens to players. Do you know what I mean? So let's give KDB
for him. We're saying he's still
you guys are isolating one moment in time.
Yeah, I don't get it.
You're conflating it with a career. No, you are.
Mikey D,
because his career to date hasn't got that moment. Unless you're counting League Cup finals. Are you talking League Cup finals?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait. Stop. This narrative. What is your agenda against KDB? Just get it off your chest.
Apparently, there is no agenda. Listen, league is murking players, and we can't bring up League Cup final, So the only thing we're talking about big moments. So you're talking about Belgium. You're talking about knockout situation for Belgium, knockout situation for Manchester City, So when your team is getting knocked out, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna get us out of trouble or not? You haven't been able to do that in Lyons and whatnots, And then we get to the final.
Even Spurs.
Are you gonna be able to win us the final?
Did you hear that? You weren't able to get that in Lyons, but he got them to the final, right?
And then you try and win the final, right?
Wait, you're referencing games pre-final in big games, like he hasn't turned up in any big games. He's turned up. He got them to this final.
I've not stated that. I'm saying this was his Mike, I'm actually using your what you said in the preview. This was his crowning moment. You back these guys, and it wouldn't even be a big surprise because you're overwhelming favorites. You bang them up, and you win it, and you probably get the best player. And then you're talking about being in the podium to be in the Ballon d'Or, which is where his talent and his ability deserves. Are we in the same alignment here? He should be in the top 3 Ballon d'Or voting in there. He's not gonna make it with this kind of performance. That's all we're saying. He's not gonna make the top 3 with his performance. Now with Belgium in 2 weeks, if they flop it again, are you gonna put him in top 3? Absolutely not. What are we discussing here? We're not talking about is Kevin De Bruyne a world class. This is certified world class player.
Sorry, just to clarify something. Did I say previously that he was going to win the Ballon d'Or?
You were saying this is
because there's a lot of talk about it.
Man City are going to win it. Well, Man City were going to win it, right? So obviously, the Champions League, as you know.
You keep referencing next couple of weeks with Belgium. I don't think I'd pinpoint KDB for Ballon d'Or in any conversation.
No, I'm saying is if he wins it, right? If he wins it, you agree with me. Champions League, you know what happened with Modric, right? Won the Champions League, then it was the World Cup year. You perform well. What wins the thing, right? It's all cumulative, right? We already know this guy's won he's already won everything. He wins the treble, wins the Champions League with Man City, probably gets the best player. You know where I'm heading with this. That's gonna be. I'm still surprised, yeah. At the age of 29, he's not been in the top 3 of the Ballon d'Or. He hasn't even smelled the podium yet.
Yeah. All I'm saying is
he's not world class.
Tell me a big game, a big knockout match for Belgium or for Man City where KDB
exactly
is
what I'm saying. What that Man City?
Mate, the semi-final. What are you talking about? I just told you he turned up against PSG.
Yeah, he did.
PSG.
So what are you talking about?
No, a minute. That was a PSG without. That was a PSG without Mbappe, and that was with a bottle of Pochettino.
Wait, are you looking for excuses or something? You said tell you a big game. I told you the biggest game other than the final this season.
And even in that big game, what did he do?
What?
What did he do?
He turned up and he scored, you mug. You serious?
Seriously?
You know,
Did
he try to cross the ball?
Shots. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
No. No, if you play football,
he's claiming a cross shot.
If you play football, then you know what you're about. Like I do all the time.
He meant that
if
cross
you ain't
shot.
got that in your game, you haven't got it in your game. You know what I mean?
He meant that cross shot. Okay.
Right. If you don't know, you don't know.
We've talked enough about this. Let's
Abu Kanade, yes, brother. Yes. This guy, honestly.
Okay, so we've talked enough about Man City. They flopped it. That's what we can all agree on. Pep flopped it. Chelsea won the trophy. Good luck to them. Can't stand either of those clubs. So let's talk about the European Championships, as it's been mentioned here about Belgium and KDB maybe going on to do something that will get him that Ballon d'Or. So what we're going to do now is that, as people, the viewers should hopefully know, Gareth Southgate has announced a 33-man squad for England. He wanted to get the European Cup games out of the way to see who was fit and who isn't. And that squad is going to be trimmed down to the final 26. So what we've done is we've each decided on who we're going to kick out of that 33-man squad. And we've also come up with our own starting 11s that we'd want to see Gareth Southgate play. So let's go first of all with who we're going to kick out of the squad ourselves. There's been a lot of talk about Trent Alexander not making it, which is just nuts, but we're going to find out soon enough from Southgate in the next couple of days. But who wants to go first in terms of telling the viewers who they've decided they're going to drop from the 33? I'm going to look at Mikey.
Wait,
your mouth started to move. Your mouth started to move, so I thought you wanted to talk. But now,
No. 3 Lions. Let's go.
Yeah. let's go to Aki because he's been quiet.
Wait, I've got my list in front of me now. Aki, do you want to go?
Nah, go on, Mikey. You're a bigger fan than I am.
Right. So Ramsdale's gone. Number 1. I don't even think that's going to be a debate. I've got Godfrey, White, Trippier, Ward-Prowse, Watkins, and a debatable one in Lingard.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think that a case can be made for any of them to stay, really. But, yeah, how do we want to run this? Run through everybody's 7 and then critique?
I think we should go for everyone's 7. So, Aki, do you want to go next?
Yeah, so I had Sam Johnston, Ben White, Ben Godfrey, Jesse Lingard, Saka, Phillips, and Calvert-Lewin.
Okay, there's some similarities there. CT, England fan.
Okay.
Let's go.
Come on. 3 Lions, mate. Let's go. Anyway, I've got Sam Johnston out, Ben Godfrey, Connor Cody, James Ward-Prowse, Ollie Watkins, and Mikey's favourite player. Who am I going to say, Mike?
Hates on Reece James and he thinks he's going home. I've got some comments afterwards.
Reece James and Trippier, actually. Kick those 2 right backs out. Reece James and Trippier.
I know, that's what I want to comment on afterwards, but let's go through the other 7s.
Okay, go on then, Uche.
I can't remember. There were so many waxes. Honestly, please, I can't remember. So all I know is that keeper that Mikey said, Ramsdale, right? Godfrey, White, Watkins, obviously, Jay Lings, and someone else. But they were so whack, I didn't even acknowledge them, to be honest.
Okay, and then GJ.
Yeah, so I had Aaron Ramsdale, Ben Godfrey, Ben White, Calvin Phillips, James Ward-Prowse, Ollie Watkins, and Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, Phillips. That was the other guy.
Whoa, Sancho.
Wow. All right, wait. Before we get into that, I'll just do mine. So I had Ramsdale, Connor Cody, Reece James, Mikey, Ben White, Ben Godfrey, and Ollie Watkins, excuse me, and Saka were my ones.
Okay. So
Saka.
Saka could go, to be fair. I just didn't want to add him in the 7.
Hater, bro.
No, hey, come on, CT, you know me. I've been rating that guy since early. I've been rating him since early. I just don't think he's got.
You could have found another 7.
Yeah, easily. Easily found another 7.
Let's pick up on a couple of the slightly controversial ones. One that's quite controversial, GJ and Sancho. What's your problem with Sancho?
No problem with him per se. I just feel there's quite a few players in the squad who are kind of similar to him, and I just feel like it was, for me, it come down to Sancho or Saka. You just said you picked Saka, yeah?
To not to go.
Yeah. And even as a Spurs fan, I rate Saka and I rate his versatility, and that's why I chose Saka over Sancho. Sancho, skillful winger, but you got Mason Greenwood in there. I mean, my starting 11's not going to have none of them anyway.
Yep.
And I just feel that Jadon Sancho's time will come. He will come. He's a talented player, but I just feel like for me, when I was looking at the squad, and we are talking just purely about the squad, because none of these Ramsdales or Godfreys or screw faces or Phillips or Walker, they're not going to get anywhere near that starting 11.
Exactly.
Right?
You're going to be surprised, I'll tell you.
So let's be honest. This is why I said when
there's a good comment in the thread, GJ. The comment: Sancho should be starting over Sterling with his form.
Yeah, current form definitely.
But what is Sancho's form?
It's lightning. He's been papping it up.
Let's relax with this, man.
Yeah,
let's
but papping it up in the German league. I don't know.
No, it's so good.
So is Haaland. But Haaland gets raved about. Like, let's not give one criteria for one and one for another. Like, last season when Sancho was papping it up, he was hot news. The beginning of the season, first half, he was terrible. And then second half, he's turned it on again. So, yeah. Anyway, it was an interesting decision. I thought the most interesting decision from GJ was that he was going to dash Watkins and Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, I think that's one.
That's not going to happen. Calvert-Lewin's going.
Yeah. I picked Calvert-Lewin. I'm taking him.
Oh wait, who was you? I thought you said
no. It was
going.
No, that was me. I'll check him out.
I thought you.
What was your thinking behind that, Mikey?
Well, it was between him and Watkins, to be fair, but I just thought Watkins has more chance of scoring, and he's a bit pacier than Calvert-Lewin. I think Calvert-Lewin is a bit slow. He's a bit, I don't know. I think really England needs fast players, really, and I think Watkins is quite fast and he can score as well. He scored about 16 goals this season, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I know Mikey's a big fan.
Calvert-Lewin. Watkins
He's a
is
huge
terrible.
fan.
He's
He's a
shocking.
huge fan.
Goes to the World Cup. I'm going to burn this top.
I'm not having that. I
No,
know.
but
I
you
know
why
this.
Calvert-Lewin's going to go.
he's a
Big
pacey
fan of
striker.
Yes,
Which,
Mikey. Yeah, sorry, Val.
I was just going to say, there's a couple of you that didn't want to take Lingard. Given his form, I think.
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
given his form,
okay, let me
his
take
form isn't
that.
hotter than Sancho's. Where's he going to play?
Let me take that. There's no point. I looked at the players that I'm picking, and Jay Ling's he's gonna just be there to do his dance, in the changing rooms. He has no purpose, so that's why I took him out. I'm not interested in Jay Ling's dance. I'm not interested in Jay Ling's dance, man. This is serious things, yeah. So Jay Ling's just gonna be there for bands. I'm not being funny.
You need that.
I don't have time for that.
100%.
You need it. You need that in the squad.
Spirits. You need spirits, man.
Serious stuff, man. This is serious. I've got ballers, man. I'm seeing ballers, and once I looked at certain people, I turfed him. The only reason why I put Ward-Prowse, for example, is because I'm imagining some weird. This is typical England, yeah.
What?
Desperate, right?
Put Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, let me explain.
I've got Ward-Prowse. I've got Ward-Prowse. In my squad, yeah.
Guys, let me crack you up with the explanation, right? You know when they have their desperation nonsense, yeah? And then they need someone to put the ball in the right spot here.
Exactly.
Yeah, bring on Ward-Prowse for the last 5 minutes.
I can see it. I can see it now.
That's crazy talk.
Get on the ball ahead of Trent.
When they lose into Iceland, fam. What are you talking about? That's crazy.
That's crazy talk. Even then, Ward-Prowse shouldn't touch the pitch, man. Forget that.
Yeah, so GJ, yeah, man. So that's the reason why I literally have him as a token for one reason only.
That's
literally
funny.
special teams. I only picked him for special teams.
Yeah,
if you need him for a corner or free kick last minute in the game, I'm bringing him on.
And they'll bring him up because, to be honest with you, we like to
stick it on
the last 26. But in my team, only 15 or 16 players would ever touch ball. The rest are just there to crack.
We'll probably get to it with your teams.
And
Rel. But if you have Trent in there, then there's no space for Ward-Prowse on those dead balls.
You say that?
Yeah, true.
No, but you can bring him on.
That's if you're starting Trent. I don't know whether you're starting him.
We'll come to that.
Come on, man. Come on. What kind of question is that?
Listen,
I don't know.
Is this a joke thing or what?
I've heard you guys using him for half the season.
I've seen all the teams, and some of us ain't doing it. Right. All right, let's
might as well not bother going to the Euros if you don't have him there.
Okay, let's go into our starting 11s then. So what we've done, as I said earlier, what we've done is we've chosen a team that not what we think that Southgate is going to pick, but the teams that we think we would like to see start the match for England. So do we want to go? Let's go in alphabetical order. So Aki, do you want to go first with your starting 11?
Yeah.
So we're hoping we're going to try and share our starting 11s with you so you can see it on the screen. So just bear with us a moment. It's good to see that Aki's prepared.
GJ
put on the spot.
Time to tank up.
Here we go.
There we go.
All right.
Okay, there it is. Now pause that.
There we go. So there you go. Aki, do you want to talk us through your starting 11?
Well, yeah, I mean, like as I said before, I'm not really the biggest England fan, so I just kind of had a look at the players that were available. Defending wise, I don't think there's a great deal of great defenders in the squad, if I'm completely honest. But Maguire and Stones seem to be, the best of a bad bunch. I think with this team, really, it's an attacking team. It's got, like, with the strikers, all the forward players, you've got Grealish, Foden, Mount. I'm expecting like intricate little passing and like Kane holding the ball up. And then obviously you got the two fullbacks, Trent bombing it down the right, Chilwell doing the same down the left. It's probably going to let in quite a lot of goals. A lot's going to rely on like Rice and Henderson helping out the two waxers in defence, like Maguire and Stones, and obviously got Pickford, but I think there's a lot of goals there, to be honest with you, and I think it's a young team. I could have possibly taken out Mount and put in Rashford. That was a choice, but I just kind of thought to myself, Mount has just come off winning the Champions League, so he's going to be buoyed by that. Whereas Rashford lost the Europa League against Villarreal. So, but I think during the tournament, I'd probably alternate between those two.
Can I mention, Cracks, Aki? You literally, you literally said about pace. There's no pace in that front line, man. All your pace is on the bench, man.
Yes, mate.
All three of these guys are quite pacey. To be honest.
I'm not having that.
Yeah.
What I mean by
pace, well, it depends what you mean by pace. I think basically they play the ball at pace. You know, they're quick thinking players. They're not the kind of players that
you need someone in and behind them, in and behind the opposition, mate.
I'll defend Aki.
That's why I said
Aki's team's similar to mine. To put it out there, it's more about ball retention.
That's what I'm going to say. Possession.
When you got Foden and Grealish and Mount, it's about ball possession rather than the pace. Kane's not got pace. Foden is not quick. He's not Sterling. He's not Rashford. He's not Sancho. And so you're looking at ball retention and getting past the player. All of those players can get past players, make runs into the box. So if you're looking at bouncing off of Kane and kind of overlapping runs in, then that's the way. But in terms of stretching the defence, they're not going to do that.
I think they're deceptively quick, though. I mean, I wouldn't say Mount, Grealish and Foden are slow players.
No, they're not slow. But that sort of turn of pace they haven't really got. Foden can probably beat a man, but I can't see anyone behind.
I do see that. So maybe it's not like pacey, but I think there's a quick turn of pace there. I think Grealish, Foden, and Mount have all got a quick turn of pace. I think they're all comfortable on the ball, and I think they'll, like Kane is obviously a goal getter, but I think he can also hold the ball up and give that kind of that strength really to hold the ball up and bring those three players in. But to be honest with you, I think the big question mark really is over these two, because I think with these three in the back, you're always going to concede goals, really. So all is depending on how many goals the front four score, in my opinion.
Okay.
All right.
So I know there is a couple of you who've got 4-2-3-1, so we might as well do it that way. So Mikey, do you want to put Mikey's up? Mikey?
Yeah.
So as I said, it's very similar.
Pause there. Thank you.
It's very similar to Aki's, but I've noticed that I needed a bit of pace in Sterling in there. And although Sterling's been pretty poor for City, he saved his best performances for England, it seems. So mine is very attacking. As you can see, I've got Mount in there with Rice, but Mount can play that position. He can't play it as defensively well as Henderson, but I like football. I like attacking teams. I think Shaw's been the best left back in the league. I think Trent is the most dangerous right back, followed by Reece James. Rice is going to start regardless. And I'd like to see Foden and Grealish in the same team. I doubt that Southgate will do it, but this is what I would like to see. I think someone else in the thread said that Sterling could be replaced by Sancho or somebody else. And to be quite frank, on form, he could be. But for England, I think he generally tends to turn up. So that would be my 11. And that's based on 4 at the back as well. He might go 5.
That's more like 4-1-4-1 though, isn't it?
No. It's as it's set out.
But Mount,
so you got Mount in there grinding, yeah?
Mount
That's crazy.
No, Mount can play in all the positions in midfield.
Mount don't want to play that position.
You just don't do football. Mount can play in those positions, and he has done for Chelsea. It's just
he's never
in a different way now.
He's never played as a midfielder.
I expected this from Mikey.
You've been through this with Lampard, Gerrard, and Scholes.
Look at Lamps now.
I expected this from Mikey, so I'm not remotely surprised. He was always
He wants borders in
I'm not going to the Championship to get knocked out without scoring.
It ain't gonna happen though.
And my team scoring in open play as well.
Maguire and Stones are under pressure, bro.
They let them.
Maguire and Stones under pressure, bro.
Big lamp.
What do you mean let them? They've got Pickford behind them.
Trust me, it's a madness.
Yeah, well,
Mikey, wait, Germs. Mikey and Eki, you both picked Pickford in goal.
Do you know what? When I looked at it, was like, who do I pick? Someone that's actually played in the games, or another whack star to replace him in Henderson. Henderson's been diabolical and he can't come for crosses. So I'm not going to replace Pickford when at least Pickford's been to a tournament, even if he was picking the ball out of his net, even if he can't reach the top corner. But he's better on the ball as well. And my team are ballers.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that with Pickford. But Pickford is really the best of the bad bunch. Like, at the end of the day, I wouldn't take any of them. But...
Just to say, if Pope wasn't injured, I would have picked Pope.
Yeah, well, everyone would have. I think.
As the best keeper.
I think everyone would.
Aki got his spot on. I won't pick any of them.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. What was you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, like, Mikey D, if you was England manager, I would love to see Mason Mount's face when you write that team on the wall and you say, yeah, by the way, Mason, you're playing next to Rice in the 2.
Yeah, but what you don't understand is the 2 don't have to be sitting all the time. One of the 2 will be getting forward and it will rotate. Just like when you used to have... Let me just explain. When you used to have 4-4-2 and you used to have 2 midfielders, both of them couldn't go forward. This kind of like breaking out from 4-4-2 formations and into 3 in midfield, rare. Rice and Mount used to play together through youth teams, you know.
Yeah, I know that.
In centre mid. They both...
Yes.
Houdini.
Don't be a
Houdini.
Don't be a pet. Don't be a pet.
No. But you know what? One difference. I've got one recognised holder in there in Rice.
He can't do it all himself.
He can't do all himself.
We're moving like Arteta when Partey was doing...
You know the problem with England? You know the problem with
tell
England?
Him, man.
You'll have...
Tell him.
No, watch what will happen. Henderson's not going to be fit, yeah? And then you're going to have Rice and Calvin Phillips in there. Watch how dead that team is. Watch.
Dry.
I guarantee you.
You have to offer protection, man.
You have
you might as well be Southgate, mate.
Bro, I had to think like a little bit because this is crazy.
So is it yours next then, CT?
Yeah, put me up.
Put CT up. Yeah.
Southgate's team.
Grabbed my team, man. He chucked my team.
Do you know what? I've had to go with Henderson. I've seen him in play in that Liverpool game, and he was atrocious. But Pickford has got a couple of mistakes in him in every match I watch, and we just can't take them chances. No, 100%. Not at the Euros, because the back line already. Well, the 2 centre backs in Maguire and Stones, they're just going to be under immense pressure throughout the tournament, and Trent's not really going to be helping out at right back, so. It's going to be Chilwell at the back as well, kind of trying to help out. And defensively, he's probably not all that. He's always under the cost. So I've gone with a protection of Rice and Henderson to protect these guys at the back because I can't see them like withstanding too much pressure without those holders. Foden, he's going to be the main guy for me for this England team because he's going to be the ball carrier and getting it to the front players. Yeah. Sterling and Sancho, I wanted to put Rashford in there, but I did a comparison of Rashford's stats with Sancho's, and Sancho is the better guy at the moment to get assists and help Kane out get the goals. So I've gone for Sterling with pace and Sancho obviously with the trickery as well. And I'm expecting Foden and Sancho or Foden and Sterling, whichever combination that Southgate may go for, just to bounce off each other and try to get that ball to Kane or just little trickery. But the defense for me is the important thing. They need protection. You can't have one anchor in there, man. Not for me.
Your team's dead. You've got the same team. Have you got it set up in the same way?
Rob, it's not far off, man.
It's not far off my one.
It has to be slightly different. This team is horrendous.
What's horrendous about it? Why?
I think what's going to happen with this team is that the midfield and attack are going to be so disjointed because you got no one connecting the two. So when England Yeah, but hold on.
Wait,
So,
you saying you're playing 4-2-1-3? Because 4-3-3 it says there.
yeah, but it's going to be basically
Right, you're
and
too scared. What kind of manager are you about? It depends.
Hey, I'm learning off
What does
our
it
test,
depend
bro.
on?
It depends. We'll switch it up. We'll switch it up. If we're under the cosh, we'll switch it up to 4-2-3-1 maybe, and leave Kane up top by himself.
I can't believe that you've not included Grealish.
Nah, Grealish is not. He's just coming back from injury.
Wait, did you
So
see? Wait. Did you see Grealish against Belgium? I actually think
that's when he was fit.
I think Foden's too young to be the focal point. He's like it's his first tournament. I think you're putting too much. No, you are.
The guy.
Owen has done it.
He's the only creativity, but he's the only creativity. Like the only creativity is going to come from Foden. None of those other players have got creativity. So Sterling just fast.
Behave yourself. Sancho just this season.
No, he's just tricky though. He's just tricky.
That's why he's in before Rashford.
Yeah, Benman's right.
At the end of the day,
right. Foden is the guy 100%.
100. Foden's the guy.
He is, but he needs support.
Foden's in my team. But Foden's there. But in terms of the guy that's going to be carrying it through the middle or transitioning, or I think Grealish is going to be that guy, and I think Foden is going to be one of the guys that's kind of picking up the ball wide, and he's going to be integral. Foden's sick, Michael Owen 98, never too young. Foden definitely isn't too young.
Rooney as well.
You and I both know that Southgate does not trust Grealish for whatever reason.
But you know what?
It ain't gonna happen.
That Belgium game changes everything. I'm telling you.
Nah, he don't care. He's not gonna happen.
He was the best player on that pitch. And I think KDB was on there as well.
Nah, Mount will get the nod before Grealish.
Mount's playing. Mount's in my team as well. Forget your team.
This is the team that will carry England through, bro.
No,
if they're serious.
If they're serious, that will rely on set pieces.
If they're serious, I'm telling you. Uche knows. Uche knows.
Yeah, put up Uche's team.
Let's go Uche.
He's looking for
like I said,
it's exactly the same.
DJs after my one.
I had to work backwards because
it's exactly the same.
He changed the team. Let's see you, Chase.
I had to.
He's got Rashi in there.
No. Wait. Let me explain myself, man.
That's sabotage.
Basically, when I looked at the back choices that are available, I couldn't believe how bad it was. And because it had to be Maguire and Stones, literally, there's no one else you can possibly pick. I was already worried. So straight away, I had to change my team. So I'm like, you have to protect these guys. You have to. So Rice and Henderson have to play because you have to protect them. And the reason why I have to protect them is because I don't want people to go for that middle. But I need Trent and Chilwell because they are attacking fullbacks. I want them to play the way I want to play, which is attacking fullbacks, proper going for it. So you kind of have those two protecting the back four, the back two, and then you got the that will free up the fullbacks. Obviously, Foden doing his thing, trying to supply. And the reason why the only reason Rashford is there, and if he flops, it's obviously going to be Sancho or someone else, is purely because I want Foden to be able to look up and play that ball to have two options to play fast players in. And CT mentioned about the strike rate, but actually Rashford, I just back him to bury more than I will back Sancho. Sancho will be looking to pass it. Sometimes I want my four players to think about banging it in. So that's my only concern with Sancho. I don't really have him as a true killer of putting the ball in the back of the net. But yeah, unfortunately, once I saw the Maguire Stones, I had to protect them. So by default, I had to put those two guys in there because it's pointless, man. I can't do what Mikey did because he's just gonna leave them exposed and they're gonna get hurt.
Let them be exposed. We're outscoring.
Yeah, but like I said, I would like to go with that, but I just thought, look, man, let's be realistic. This guy's gonna get exposed. One ball and they're finished. And these guys won't be able to express themselves. They'll be 1-2-0 down before anything even starts off.
So that's almost the same team minus Rashford for Sancho.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
They work together.
Nah, mate. Great minds, isn't it? Great minds.
We're both going home.
Oh, God.
It's not looking good, is it? I mean, let's be honest. That's centre-back partnership. And that's the best one. So can you imagine anyone that's come on as a sub? Gosh, my days. Mings, Cody, who else was there? Ugly stuff, honestly.
Horrible. Aki, do you want to pull mine up? And then we'll go to GJ last. So here we go.
Similar.
The team that's going to win the Euros. So for me, it was similar with what Uche said in terms of that back line is horrendous. So I've got the two runners in there with defensive-minded in Henderson and Rice. I put Henderson on Trent's side so that he can give him that protection because he's going to need it. And then Mount is a guy that's going to be threading the balls and carrying the ball, similar to what CT said. For the front line, I had Foden in there. He had to be in there somewhere, and Kane, obviously. Sterling, it was a toss-up between Sterling, Grealish, and Sancho for me. I haven't really watched Sancho this season, so I couldn't comment. That's the reason why I didn't have him in there. If it was on paper and you're talking FIFA-type stuff, I would have put him in there straight away because of the name, but I haven't watched him play enough to know. Sterling, although he's not been on form, hasn't really been playing for City. He tends to show up for England, so I've got him in. But for me, you could bring in Grealish there, you can bring in Sancho there, you can mix and match, you can switch sides between Foden and Sterling. So that's my team. I went for Shaw and left back as well, because like Mikey said, best left back I think in the league. Actually, let me think about that. Yeah. I think he's been the best left back in the league going forward and defensively. His form dropped off a bit towards the end of the season, but best I've seen him play, and I've never really rated Shaw personally. Yeah. So I think he's got to start. And obviously, Pickford is a clown. I almost swore that Pickford is a clown, so I can't have that guy in the team, man. You know what? The guy in the team. When I was in the team, he's got like, you know those comedy gloves, the big gloves that you see in the.
It's still going to give him a goalkeeper span.
That's what he. The thing is, Henderson's worse though. Henderson's worse.
I don't. Nah.
He got dropped though, didn't he? He got.
Wait, do you not remember Henderson against Liverpool? Come on, we just got a game.
Yeah. He nearly lost the place for that game.
I can't think of a scenario where I pick Pickford. I just can't do it.
Yeah, can't do it.
Yeah,
that's because he took BVD out.
No.
And he should have got a red card.
I don't know.
Yeah, he should have got a red card.
I don't know what he's about his goalkeeping abilities. I just don't rate the guy. I don't even know how he's made so many caps. I don't get it.
Listen, I don't rate him.
He's better than Henderson.
I don't want anyone to come off here thinking I rate Pickford. I just don't rate Henderson more.
Yeah,
exactly.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
I rate anyone more than that clown, man.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, it's true.
But there you go, Trent.
So Gumsy one then.
So yeah, GJ now.
Let's go, GJ.
Yeah, so
okay.
Southgate in disguise.
You don't rate Trent now. You don't rate Trent now.
All right, guys, take a look. Tell me what you think.
I like the front four. It looks similar to me.
The front four is not bad.
Yeah, it looks similar.
It's not too dissimilar to mine.
I think we got a consensus with the protection there with the Rice and Henderson.
No.
Yeah. Protecting these clowns. Except for you, Mikey. I was going to say.
Yeah. And do you know what? Do you reckon? Yeah, Mount's been unbelievable this season. I didn't rate him. I didn't rate him coming into this season.
Yeah, do you know what?
It's such a good footballer.
It's harsh. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
When I was thinking of this team, we were discussing it in the WhatsApp group. I was thinking, some barred man is going to be left out, and a Champions League winner in Mason Mount is going to be left out.
There's a winner
There's an argument there, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you the reason why I picked this team is this. Basically, first of all, the defense is whack, right? So I'm picking Walker over Trent because Walker can defend better than Trent, even though obviously we know Trent is a right. Okay, we can argue that, but the other good thing with Walker is he can slip into centre back if needed. So he's got that little bit of versatility, even though
he's
Trent,
in the squad, not the team.
Yeah, okay, but whatever. Shaw over Chilwell because Shaw, I think we all agree that he's been the best left back. Rice and Henderson, they speak for themselves. I think everyone's.
Does everyone think that Henderson's actually going to make it?
He has to make it.
He has to.
Just like Maguire has to make it. Otherwise, just
he's not. touched the pitch for a long time. I know.
I agree. Yeah, I know. I'm hoping Henderson is.
If Maguire and
match
Henderson
fit.
doesn't make it, I think it's time to allow it. To be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Henderson has to be. He's got to be ready, and especially ready by the knockout stages. He has to be match fit because you can cruise through. You can gain match fitness through the tournament, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully, if he starts, if he starts tournament, and he just gains match fitness. Foden and Grealish in there. I had to have both of them in there because the biggest problem with England in recent years, we all know, is the struggle to keep hold of the ball in big tournaments, in knockout matches. Foden, Grealish are two barred men at keeping the ball. They will alleviate the pressure. We've seen this. Sterling, he's always an outlet for pace. If ever you are under the cosh and you haven't got the ball, there's always the Stoke ball, the ball over the top to Sterling, and obviously you've got Kane there, barred man finisher, and he can hold the ball up. I think this is a versatile team.
Yeah,
I like this.
It's a good team.
I like this. Yeah,
Other than
I like it.
Walker out.
This is the defensive variation of my team.
Yeah.
We've
I
got
like
one
it. I mean,
angle.
I wouldn't be upset to see that team. I like so dash Walker out. I mean, sure, I'll probably dash him as well. Not really feeling sure either, but yeah.
Shaw stats
this season.
No, but Shaw stats and Chilwell stats are very similar. Both got the same amount of assists. Chilwell's got actually more goals.
What about defending?
He can defend as well.
Chilwell got dashed for Alonso enough times this season.
Yeah, it's similar stats, man. Trust me. Check it out.
You can't be dashed for Alonso.
Put it this way, who are you trusting in defence, Walker or Trent, if they're up against a barred man?
But you know what? I'm trusting Reece James.
Reece.
Here we go.
Cut his mic.
Wait, CT, take it away. Take it away.
I'm saying it here again.
Screwface James. I'm not having it.
I'm saying it here again. It's live on camera on multiple occasions.
I'm not having it. He doesn't even make my squad, mate. He can sit out.
Check his rating for the Champions League final, mate.
With his screw face. He can screw face the TV, bro.
Are we using the Champions League final as a barometer?
I don't care, bro.
Are we using the Champions League final as a barometer? GG, how about you?
He didn't have much to do.
He made plenty of mistakes in the Champions League final.
And he made mistakes.
Yeah, of course he did.
What did Sterling do?
What did Sterling do? He ran off Reece James, and if he could control the ball,
he did. The first chance of the game was off Reece James, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wait, of course it was.
Was it a chance?
Yeah. He ran.
Reece James kicked the ball.
What are you on about, bruv?
No,
oh my
days!
You guys don't actually
he ran off Reece James. Reece James was sleeping, and if Sterling could trap the ball, that's a goal.
What happened?
Because Sterling failed to trap the ball, but he caught the guy napping, bruv,
back and kicked the ball onto Sterling.
In the second half, do you remember that ball that came in from the right-hand side? It was a header, and my man missed the header. And then it fell to the guy at the back. I can't remember who it was. And then he screwed his shot wide.
No.
So you're still dissing Reece James then after the Champions League final, yeah?
Nothing special at all.
Wow.
Nothing special.
I don't know what you guys are ranting and raving about Chelsea's performance, but I don't know what you're saying. The young right back in there, and you're still dissing him.
He did all
in the biggest game of his career when he turned up.
Whoa. To say he turned up is a bit mischievous because he made some big mistakes, but he got away with it.
Wait, what mistakes did he make?
I've just told you.
Sterling made a good run, and he got back to him. Tell me that Sterling run and the ball weren't world class.
No, this man was sleeping.
Oh, do you know what? You can get beaten by a good run in football.
Nah, bruv, that was basic. That was right across him. It was literally, my man's here, and he's just run across him. And he's like, oh, yeah, damn, I better chase him. And he couldn't even get anywhere near him. Come on.
Yeah, come on. I'm not having it, Mike. So I'm not having it. I don't rate him at all.
So it's only taking a Champions League final. I don't know what else the guy can do.
Biggest game of his career. Biggest game of his career.
You turned up,
lads,
unlike
turned up.
KDB. Unlike KDB.
Every
Yes,
team's gonna have a
he turned up.
passenger, mate.
Let's wrap it up, guys. Let's wrap
So
it
he's a
up.
passenger now, yeah?
I'm saying what it is, man. I don't rate him.
No,
Let's wrap it up. We're going to finish off with our highlights of the week. As always, I'm going to start, get straight in there. Villarreal beating Man United. Love to see it. Every day. All day, every day. That's me. All right. Who wants to go next? GJ.
I'll go.
Go,
Man.
CT.
I'll go. All you guys thought I was hating on our ex-manager. I'm going to give it to Unai Emery for proving to everyone that he's a boss. He's a
well
boss.
done. Respect.
Yeah. And that hurt. That hurt.
Yeah. Well done.
Oh, God.
All right, Aki, do you want to go next?
I'll go with our new signing, Konate.
Okay.
Welcome to Liverpool.
Just got knocked out of the under-21s championship.
Well done. Well done.
He's going to be better than Williams, isn't he? So.
Yeah.
Isn't this called a performance of the week or like a highlight of the week?
Yeah, just highlight of the week. You can do silence. You can do silence.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Go on then, Uche, do you want to go next?
I guess it's gonna be Kai Havertz. You know, he's just come in there. First goal in the Champions League. Not a bad place to start and win it for Chelsea Football Club. So well done to Chelsea, well done to him, and well done to his manager.
Did you see his after-match interview where he said about not giving a F about?
Oh yes, that's
live on TV. Good man.
Live on TV. I don't apologize for swearing. Yeah.
GJ, what's your
one? Before I say that, who's Jimmy T? I just seen who did. Oh, Jimmy Traore. Of course. Yeah. Sorry.
Legend.
Sorry. And
the biggest game of his career, he turned up.
Yeah. Houdini 77. My humble apologies. Yes, I should have known Jimmy Traore, and obviously that was alongside Igor Biscan, wasn't it?
He didn't start the match.
But he didn't play the game, but similar.
But my highlight of the week is my brother N'Golo Kante. Monster. That guy's a don. That's all I need to say.
And then finally, Mikey D, what's your one?
Mine's more of a kind of statement or a highlight and a low light. Naomi Osaka withdrawing from the French Open. I think is a big statement. Yeah, she's withdrawn today. So I think she's making a big stand for a lot of topical issues, mental health being the most recent one. And I think that the organisers are shocking for the way that they've treated her. They tried to fine her for not attending press briefings. And so she's withdrawn from the tournament. So yeah, that's my kind of event highlight / low light of the week.
I disagree with that, by the way, but that's just my personal opinion.
What do you disagree with? It being my highlight / low light?
No, absolutely not.
I was going to say.
No, of course not. No. You got.
What do you disagree with? Go on. You can have 30 seconds.
Yeah, I just think like if basically part of being a top sportsman or woman is to speak to the media. That's one of the reasons why you earn so much money is to reach out for your fans and that. If you can't have your cake and eat it, in my opinion. So if you want to play great tennis, just stay on your local court, stay away from the media, and that's what she's done. So fair enough. But just move on.
So what do you disagree with then? So you agree that she should have withdrawn?
No disagreement with that. I just disagree with the outrage that the media is so bad, and because it's the same for everyone. It's a level playing field.
So do you understand?
She's not making the stand for herself though. It's for all the tennis players. It's not about
all the tennis players, she's come out with a statement saying that she's struggled with mental health problems and depression since 2018, and she gets high anxiety. She's been managing it, but it's to a level that she doesn't wish to manage it in that way, in that environment. Yeah. And so she asked the organizers about not speaking and not doing the kind of TV interviews as they forced her to, or tried to force her to. Which is the same for everyone.
Fair play,
though. It doesn't matter.
That's the point.
Very topical.
You can't have one rule for one and not the other.
It's a very
also it's a convenient excuse though, right? Anyone can say, "Oh, look, I've got this or I've got that," and then as an excuse not to go and do something, right?
Yeah. So it's an excuse that she's withdrawn. I think she's shown it's more than an excuse.
All I'm saying is that I don't think she can have that much anxiety if she's playing in finals in front of that many people.
Do you know what, Aki? You're not nobody to say whether somebody's got anxiety or not.
No,
maybe you need to do a bit of research into mental health issues and anxiety.
The biggest problem I have is that we talk, like when we talk about mental health, we talk about it, and then when it comes to doing and listening to people telling you they're struggling with something, instead of opening your ears and listening, you still rubbished it. So it doesn't make any sense. Someone telling you, no. But instead of you listening, you're saying, "But it's the same for everyone." Well, clearly, it's not the same for everyone because not everyone suffers from mental illness. So it clearly, it's not the same for everyone.
That's not the point. That's not the point I'm trying to make. Actually, the point is that she has to give media interviews as part of her role of being in a tournament, right? Her saying, "Oh, I get anxiety."
She's made a lot of money out of that.
From doing media interviews, I personally think that's bullshit. I'm going to call it that because if you look at her Instagram, if you look at all other social media accounts, she's more than willing to give her point of view on different things. So at the end of the day,
you understand the difference. She's controlling when that happens and how it happens. When you go into an interview after a match, 9 times out of 10, the person that's interviewing you is trying to get a soundbite out of you. They're trying to rile you, basically. You've seen it with managers in football. It's not saying that that's not okay. And to be honest, it isn't. You're just trying to
cancel all interviews.
You're trying to make a spectacle out of somebody, and it's people's feelings that go into actually playing. These are human beings at the end of the day. We shouldn't be treating them like
just to pull you up.
That says it all.
You don't make the money from doing the interviews. You make the money from winning. You don't make the money from doing the interviews. The tournament organizers may make money for the event, but Osaka isn't making money from.
But come on, it's tennis. It's not like those interviews are that like.
This is you rubbishing it again, Aki. You're saying, "Oh, come on, it's tennis."
They're not contentious interviews. It's not like someone just come on.
This is you not understanding.
This is the problem. This is literally the problem with mental illness. People continue to do this over and over again. You're not listening to the person that's talking to you. It's a very simple case. Instead of you saying, "I don't understand this, let me go and find out about this." Someone's coming from mental illness telling you that.
I get that. I get that. My issue though is that people can chat whatever they want to chat, right? At the end of the day, it's whether I'm willing to accept that or whether the next person's willing to accept that too. Anyone can come up with any whole load of excuses. I can go to work tomorrow and say, "Look, I've got COVID, so I'm going to be off work for 3 days." And then someone goes to me, "You haven't got it. You haven't got no." But at the end of the day, anyone can claim anything. Anyone can claim anything. So at the end of the day, you have to justify it, and she hasn't justified it.
No.
This is your ignorance.
I'm with you. But when you say she hasn't justified it, she has justified it.
She has justified it. She's
clearly justified it. She's exiting the tournament, and that's why I say I've got no problem with her exiting the tournament because clearly it has affected her. All I'm saying is it has to be a level playing field for everyone. Has to be. Now, what we're saying is the way society is going now is you basically the only person who you're going to be allowed to interview is the winner. Because everyone else has got a mental health problem. Oh, I lost. Pep Guardiola.
DJ, you're being ridiculous.
Let me finish.
DJ,
let me finish.
Because you're going to
Pep
get cancelled.
Guardiola, after the Champions League final,
DJ.
I cannot explain why I got this team wrong.
DJ.
I cannot explain why I bottled it. I've got a mental health problem. So that's it. No interviews.
This is your ignorance again then. You need to go and educate yourself about mental health. And this is the problem with society and mental health and not understanding. Because you don't suffer with depression or mental health. No, you've got to say is be quiet and listen to me for a minute.
No, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to listen to you.
Why not?
Because I have got a very serious issue in my own family with mental health and depression. So I don't need lectures of anyone.
Does it exist then?
Of course it does. But I'm saying there's a difference between depression and someone saying mental health and someone just calling out like sport. That's all I'm saying. No, which is the way society's going. Are we going to? What I'm saying is, if you're going to struggle to face the media asking you a difficult question, Is that where we're going now? So you're not allowed to ask a difficult question.
TJ, what I'm trying to say to you is that she's telling you
Jose Mourinho faced difficult questions all the time.
Yeah, but you might not suffer
Different
from that
people.
illness.
Jose Mourinho doesn't have an issue with it. He feeds off it.
That's fine. That's fine. I've got no problem with that. And obviously, Naomi Osaka isn't mentally strong enough, right? And that's not a diss. That is not. Listen, let me finish. That's not a diss. That's not a diss. I'm just saying she cannot handle negative questions being asked about her. Fair enough. So step away from the limelight, and that's what she's done. But all I'm saying is everything has to be played with a mental playing with a level playing field, because there's tennis players out there, there's basketball players, football players, golfers, you name it, right? They all get asked the same questions.
Wait a minute. Let me just say, no. This is the difference here, yeah? You're comparing team sports and individual sports, number one, because all football players don't come in front of the camera. That's factually just.
And they actually hide them.
They don't.
They actually hide them.
Choose not to do
send
it.
their guy.
They actually, GJ, if only enough you should say that. They actually hide some players for that very reason, because they cannot handle it in team sport. And we know, I can give you multiple, whether it's basketball, football, team sport, they actually hide them from that. They protect them from that because they suffer from that kind of illness. They can't take it. So that's the difference, like Mikey's saying. And the bottom line is, it's an illness. Don't forget, it's an illness. You don't ask it for yourself. It's something that you can't deal with.
Everything's an illness these days. Everything's an illness. I'm with Houdini. I'm with Houdini 77. I understand the fact that mental health is a problem, but this is what being a top athlete is about in sports.
I'm done. Ralph, let's end this show.
There's a lack of understanding.
There's a comment from Bigger88. Aki, can you put that one up? Going back to Champions League winners, please. We'll end it on that.
Where's that?
How far back are we looking?
10:29.
10:29.
This one?
There we go.
The KDB grade. There we go. KDB. You have to get that in, innit?
I had to get it in. All right, guys. We'll
leave KDB alone.
Thanks, everyone, for joining in the show today. Thanks again for everyone who's been on the comments. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Get involved on the comments.
Share, subscribe.
Yep. Follow us on all the socials. Follow us on Twitch. Share this. Share it to your friends. Share it to your family if you like what you see. And we'll see you on the next show. Cheers, everybody.
Wicked, guys.